My name is Dan Pine. I'm from Garden River, but I'm not a medicine man. But what I know about medicine it's been pretty good. Back in 1950, I was about maybe 20 years old, and this guy had a restaurant in town. He was a Chinese guy, and there was a doctor. Dr. Gimby used to come in with him. Well, Dr. Gimby didn't smoke nothing, so they would come into camp and they'd stay. So the Chinese guy there, one night he was smoking. I says, "Can I try some of that?" He says, "Dan, don't ever smoke that," he says. He says, "How old is your dad?" I says, "My dad, maybe he's about 53, 54. And how old do you think I am?" Oh, I says, "Maybe 65. I says, I didn't want to go too high because he looked pretty old. He says, "I'm 41. Yeah. So he says, "You get into this stuff." He says, "I can't quit." And he'd smoke that stuff there. And he says, he says, I'm an old man and I'm not even in my middle age yet, he says. Yeah. And he looked old too, by the jeepers. He looked there. I said 65, I was going to say 70. I didn't want to be honest with him. I'd just bring him down a little more than what he's supposed to be. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, and from that time on, I said, I don't think I'd ever want to smoke that if I'm going to look that way when I'm 41 years old.
I was really tired and I was drinking a lot and using the washroom and everything, and I couldn't see very well. And my grandmother's a diabetic, my uncle, and I think that's it. And so my grandmother tested my sugar and it was high, so we went to the doctors. They tested it again and it was high, so they sent me to the hospital. I used to not eat healthy and I used to not really exercise as much, but now I do and I'm more involved and I can kind of see what it's all about, because there's so much, so many people have diabetes and you kind of don't know what it is until you have it or you know someone who has it.
I got a dad who's diabetic. It's kind of cranky, kind of symptoms from diabetes. It's kind of hard on me. I don't want to go through that crankiness and dealing with it, so I don't know, I kind of just go out and do my own thing.
Well, my mom has diabetes, and it's kind of grown on me because I don't know. I don't know how it affects me, but the only way it does is when she gets mad, and like what John said, I don't want to be around that, so I go out and do my own thing.
Because it happens on both sides of my family, so I think, I have a bigger risk of getting it, and makes me scared. So I try to take care of myself a bit more.
Our friendship has grown a lot more. We didn't usually hang out as much until well, I don't know, after he contracted diabetes, we got worried about him. He plays hockey and hangs out with us, and we do a bunch of things together. And then I guess over the winter months, he contracted diabetes, and he was in the hospital for a couple weeks, and it was a big surprise to all of us because he's active, he eats right, he eats properly, but he contracted it somehow. Maybe it was hereditary.
Every small community, they have at least one store with a bunch of junk food, and in the back there's like an arcade where they sell pizza, whatever, junk food, eh? So if they replace that with, I don't know, a garden or something like that, where they only sell fresh foods, I don't know, maybe that'd help.